Good morning, testing, 1, 2, 3. Don't know if you can hear me. I hope you can. I can see that the stream is actually working. I can't believe it. Exactly this time last week, I was in Panama, tried to stream and it was a complete and utter mega failure. So here I am back in El Salvador. I don't think you can see, but actually behind me there's a really lovely landscape, a cityscape. I'm just try and bring it up a bit. Nope, you can't see. It's all bright. Oh, look. I'm gonna have to make. No, it's not working. Shit. Whatever. All right, I tried. I tried to set it up so it looks amazing, and it still doesn't look amazing. So I have no idea what to do. I was trying to show you the city view. Short of going outside and having really terrible lighting, it was never going to happen. So I tried. It's the best we can do. Anyway, I'm here with my Dtravel cap. I'm here with my Dtravel Superman shirt. And I'm going to analyze Bitcoin. I'm going to analyze TRVL, talk about Dtravel and El Salvador. And I'm going to also have a look at QANX. I didn't announce this stream. I've had a pretty busy week here in El Salvador. And I've kind of been up in the air with my location. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to stream. And so here I am, finally doing my Friday stream again. So I should have announced it and I didn't because I wasn't sure. So apologies for that. In any case, I'm going to hopefully stream without any interruption and then hopefully cut this into some segments and then post them in a bit. And I think most people, if they want to catch up, they will. No. So last week I was struggling to analyze Bitcoin. And if you go to my YouTube, you'll see that I tried. I tried hard, really hard. And if you go to my live section, that's my attempt last week. It was actually, that's live now. It was actually 3 days ago. I tried on Friday and the stream just wasn't working. There you go. And then I tried again 3 days ago. Got a lot of views there, but still, it was a struggle. I'm not quite sure how. I didn't go back to edit it because usually when I have technical difficulties, it's really impossible to edit. But let me see how this edit went. So I kind of was talking about the BTC drop. I was looking at the order flow. I marked out the levels of interest. Here I'm looking at a possible diamond, pattern, shape. Then I'm kind of like contemplating areas of resistance, areas of support. I was saying that we're underneath the point of control, which is bearish. And generally that means continuation. And then I was kind of contemplating short. It's always tricky with the shorts because you can go in early and get stopped out, or you can wait for the perfect entry and never get filled. So, and then also possibly a long for a 50% wick fill. That's kind of what I was contemplating last week. Now, when I say last week, I mean the beginning of this week. That was on Monday. It was a really terrible stream just because I had really bad connection. But kind of we were here, weren't we? We were here on Monday, somewhere around here, a bit lower here. I was hoping or imagining that we would kind of come up here for a short. No. And why? Because I marked out my fibs, marked out my levels. There you go, see that? The monthly, washed monthly level. I marked out the volumes, the MPOX. Anything else? Just trying to see the liquidity. But the reality is that when you get these kind of drops, these high volume drops, usually the wick fills. It's just kind of the way it works. Usually you get a wick fill first. You get a wick fill, and then if you can find support, then you can go back up. It's usually the way it works. And so I wasn't really thinking of a bounce, a V shape in the first instance. I was initially thinking we'll get a short, and actually it hasn't actually gone as high as I hoped or wanted or expected. which makes it even more bearish, isn't it? Because you've got these kind of, there's 618, which has been front run, and there's literally no opportunity for an entry. There's no swing failure, is there? There was no swing failure here, and you got a close underneath the previous high, an immediate rejection within the wick, and then another collapse. And then after you get that second rejection, the price has just been dropping. So the short idea was correct, and because of the momentum of this downward move, there was no reaction. There's a slight reaction here, but really there's no reaction. There's no reaction here. The price is just crashing. What you want to see in areas of interest, you want to see the price find support, yeah? And you can't catch a falling knife. What you're looking for is for the price to fail to get through a level. With trapped traders, you can see here when you're looking at this previous level, if I mark it off, there, you can see that in the first instance it was front run, so it wasn't hit yet, and then there was no swing failure, so there was no reaction off that level, which was a swing failure entry. That's kind of what you wanted to see. You wanted to see a swing failure on this previous low. There was no swing failure, there was no reaction. It's really that simple. And so there was no long opportunity to be had. And when I say long, when you're looking for an opportunity, you're looking for a bounce and another bounce. You know, you're looking for at least a secondary or even a third bounce to show you that the level is holding support. So you have a tight invalidation. You're not looking for the price to just continue collapsing. So that's kind of the ideas from Monday. I'll hide them. And where are we now? So let me just update the volume on this price action. Yeah, no real kind of mega changes. I can see that let me kind of bring the volume up. Let me pull the volume up. Where is it? Oh my God. Can't find it. Top range, is that it? Local volume there, higher range, there you go. So let me just get this volume. Let me just update that. That's the value area high. The local, oh, that's not that. That's the one. Yeah. So we're underneath the value area low now. So we are actually showing some serious weakness here at the moment. And the rule is that you wait, you short weakness, you long strength. That's the rule. Okay. Just updating these volume levels. All right, so what you're looking for is strength now. You want a long strength. Or if you're looking to short, you're looking to short weakness. What we're experiencing now is weakness. We're not experiencing strength. And this is kind of what I marked out initially. Remember on Monday, there was no reaction here. So there was no sign of strength. I was looking for a sign of strength. See, this is a sign of strength long here. That would be a reclaim of the golden pocket. Nope. A reaction here. Nope. No reaction. And effectively what you have is a front one of this short area that I was contemplating, which shows extreme weakness. So what we expect, even though there were no trades taken here, what we're seeing is weakness, real weakness. We are in this weird shape here. It could still be a diamond, a funny shaped diamond. We could quite easily take this low and rally. We could totally do that to form a lower high. You know, we could totally do that. So that looks really bearish. Whatever happens here, it's going to look really bearish if we go back up. And the reason why is because fast down, fast up, but then it comes back down fast again. And so we end up with highly volatile price action at all-time highs. That's going to be really bad for altcoins. I'll be honest with you. It's not going to be great for altcoins, this price action that we're experiencing now. It's not. It's just terrible for altcoins except to short at the moment. So for people who are holding for higher time frame longs, you're just going to have to close your eyes and hold your breath. I still think that this candle is bullish, this one here. So all we're experiencing now is a wick fill price action. Yeah, technically we're in a range. Technically on the weekly time frame, we're in this range. That's the range. It's basically the previous week all the way down to the wick. The question is, do we get a higher low here or do we get a swing failure? It doesn't really matter as long as the weekly candle closes within the range. Okay, a lower close would be detrimental because it just means there's not enough liquidity to hold for higher prices, and then we're probably heading for lower. Okay, but at the moment we're still range bound in the previous week's range, and right now we're at the low of the range. We're still showing bearishness. And if I go and have a look at the order flow, let me just refresh this to see what that's looking like. This is the order flow on XO charts. It's a bit laggy. We're getting a little bit of bullish CVD here. How do I show you bullish CVD? Well, the CVD is going lower and the price is making higher lows. We're getting some absorption here, huh? So we're getting a little bit of bullish absorption here. We are underneath the VWAP, which is considered bearish. We are underneath the daily open, which is considered bearish. But we've moved so much already, it makes me think that actually maybe now this is looking to reverse, even if it's just for a pullback. That's kind of where my mind is right now. But just because I can see there's a little bit of bullish absorption here. And we are at this kind of previous week range low. So you can't short here. It's just impossible to short here. That's the range. And we're coming to fill this wick, aren't we? We're not getting a bullish reaction off halfway from the wick, which is that previous low. We're not getting a bullish reaction there. So possibly we have to have some kind of reversal here, reclaim, and then up. That's possibly what I'm thinking right now. And I'm going to crudely draw it out. Possibly we need to kind of bottom here and then reclaim that level, and then we have a chance to attack and get back up to take out these highs here. So possibly this short is still in play for a swing failure off the point of control. This long is possibly still in play, but it would be a reclaim long. Yeah. And right now we just have to see what happens with the price action at these lows. Yeah. So you can't long here because you don't have an invalidation unless your invalidation is this pivot low and you're trading for a higher low. But you could easily get a swing failure, and that would be a better entry. A swing failure would be a better entry because you have a definite invalidation and that could rally. So unless you get a swing failure, the only way to enter here would be for a reclaim. And I think the reclaim here would be this previous low, which would take you back to that previous long that I was originally talking about for a reaction, which we didn't get. You reclaim that, and then you're going all the way up to the point of control. You're still thinking about a short, and this is probably out of the question now. It's kind of still looking at that idea. It's just that we have to wait for this to play out. Whatever happens here, we don't know what's going to happen here. No one really knows. We can see some bullish CVD forming. It is possible to reverse here, you know, like we're at the bottom of the wick, we're at the bottom of the range. We've lost the value area. You see that? We could wait for the reclaim of that value area low in the first instance, or ideally you want a reclaim of that high volume node. And what I was saying in the stream on Monday is ideally like a bullish volume to be put in here now to give us confidence. And we're not getting that yet. Bullish volume would be for a flip of the point of control to the lower part of this range. And at the moment, we're very far from bullish volume. What we need is the volume on this volume node to extend past that, and we're quite far away from it. So if we can get enough volume at these lows for the point of control to flip to the low of the range, then that will give us confidence, a lot of confidence that this is really starting to look bullish at the moment. At the moment, it's not. Okay. So at the moment, I'm still thinking of a short and a long, but the long would be a reclaim of some of this previous low. And I think the short would just be to take out those highs, those local highs, for a rejection of the point of control, like a real hit of the point of control. All right. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with Bitcoin. And because of the volatility of Bitcoin, this is going to be detrimental for altcoins. So let's have a look at the altcoins. Yeah, obviously, look. ETH had the nice bounce all the way back up to 4,289, and then it's gone all the way down to 3,000. Whatever. Extremely volatile. I can't see any bullishness here right now. Let's have a look at ETH BTC. Haven't looked at ETH BTC for a while. ETH BTC is still okay, huh? It's still above the point of control, this kind of overall range point of control. We haven't tested it in a meaningful way yet. So unless we start finding real weakness on ETH BTC, I'd say ETH BTC is still looking quite nice. Arguably, we do lose the point of control and we actually find support here off the golden pocket. That would be ideal. Really, ideally, I would love for the price to come back to the golden pocket. The problem is you go back to the golden pocket, you've lost the point of control. And so we have to see what happens with ETH BTC. Go back to BTC. The other kind of like safe entry, if people are kind of thinking about BTC and safety and what's safe, is when you have these kind of like aggressive down moves, it's always possible to draw these kind of outer trend lines like this. It's messy, huh? That's kind of the first one. Then from the last pivot, that's kind of the second one. See that? And you've got this kind of really aggressive trend line. You've got the kind of slightly less aggressive, slightly pardon me, slightly less steep trend line. You could wait for the first trend line to break, this steep one, and then you could wait for the outer trend line to break. And so if this is the beginning of a bear market or some kind of crazy bearish move, these trend lines, specifically this outer one, will hold. This outer one will hold. Yeah. And rather than get a reclaim and up, you get a reclaim and reject. It'd be more, you know, we get a reclaim and reject like that, and that outer trend line will hold. So it's food for thought, but at the moment we're really in a indecisive bearish territory. I think I would probably wait for this inner trend line, this really steep one, to break, probably for any longs. Once that happens, you could look for a lower time frame entry with a tighter invalidation, aiming for the point of control. That's kind of where I'll be looking for to see what happens next. Otherwise, this is kind of still looking a little bit bearish. All right, even though we're getting bullish CVD. All right, what else do I want to look at? Wow, look at that. That dumped, huh? Look at that dump. People are exiting. Let me kind of have a look at QANX. So QANX is basically following the market. I think let's just be realistic about QANX. Until the mainnet launches, we're not going to get the liquidity. And so right now it's still testnet. QANX is still a prototype in development. And QANX is still being audited from... so hits it, QANX not launching. Is being audited by auditors, yeah, and so there's a lot of nervousness, a lot of panic, whatever, a lot of the markets. Bitcoin is rejecting from all-time highs. Our altcoins haven't gone to the moon. What do we do? Do we sell? Do we buy? We don't know. It's a tricky one, yeah, because I think last week we had a really nice swing failure there. I love that candle. And I think this week, as long as we don't get a lower close, then I think it's good. Then next week we're looking for reversal. And so right now I'm really just focused on this weekend. I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea. I really don't. But this is the level, the previous week low. And as long as we don't close lower than the previous week low, I think this is going to be a reversal candle for next week to be green. And we could see a reversal in this wick with the previous week, like last week's candle being a nice swing failure. Now we're just filling the wick, filling volume in the wick. We're putting volume in this point, in and around this point of control. The point of control isn't holding a support yet. That's kind of what we want to see. We want to see respect. We're not seeing respect just yet. And so we're still not ready. Okay, it's just obvious that we're not ready yet. I can't see any changes to the volume. When I look at the volume, I can clearly see that the volume is still miserably low. Yeah, and just generally speaking on this overall descent, you've got just generally speaking decreasing volume, right? So I wouldn't say it's bearish. I would just say that all the markets are shaky right now because of Bitcoin. Once Bitcoin finds support, and really finds support for the market to see, then we could probably get a little bit of an alt season, another alt season, another alt rally. I'm not bothered about the fundamentals at the moment. Like when I'm looking at QANX, when I'm looking at QANX right now, I go to the X page. That's where I get the information from, same as everyone else. The last post was 2 days ago. They keep on posting about superconductors. This is interesting. China's superconducting quantum computer modeled after Zhuchongji 3.0 is now commercially deployed, marking a milestone in practical quantum adoption. This machine harnesses the Zhuchongji 3.0 chip series, features 105 readable qubits and 182 couplers, and tackles quantum random circuit sampling at speeds quadrillions of times faster than the world's most powerful supercomputers. Can you imagine quadrillions times faster than the world's most powerful supercomputer? And this is a chip which only has 105 readable qubits. I don't know what couplers are. And so quantum computational advantage is now live and accessible globally through this cloud platform. It's amazing, huh? So even with a small amount of qubits, we're already quadrillions more powerful than the world's fastest supercomputers. So this is the next revolution. It's the next age. It's like you're going from an information age to a modern age to an information age to a quantum age. And that's going to be a big exponential leap in future technology. And it's going to be a long wait, huh? We're just going to have to be patient. There's nothing we can do about it. And unless we do see a speculative alt season, this is just going to keep on going sideways until we get the explosive move that we want to see. I can't see anything in the charts. I think last week was bullish, but we're getting a wick fill. And if you kind of draw parallels to my Bitcoin analysis, I was talking about a wick fill, wasn't I? I was talking about a wick fill. And naturally, what's happening with the rest of crypto is, at the moment, it's following Bitcoin. At the moment, I'm not seeing anything other than that. Nothing is doing its own thing. Everything is just following Bitcoin at the moment. We're getting some buy ups here. Look, so you're getting some sales, you're getting some buy ups. The buy ups are good. So I can still see that people are buying. People are selling, but people are buying. Honestly, I think these are opportunities, these pullbacks. Yeah, but short of telling people what to do, not financial advice, I think the higher time frame strategy, which I'm seeing here, is accumulation. Again, it's just accumulation. What we have effectively, what we're doing technically, is we're filling a fair value gap which was created after this explosive move to the upside. That's effectively what we're doing. So from a chart's perspective, technically you could go all the way down to here just to fill this gap, and that's unfortunate because the explosive move happened from underneath this trend line and underneath this point of control. We didn't fill the gap, we just went up, up, up. Ideally in these kind of situations, what you want to see, if possible, is an explosion and then the test, an explosion and a test, so you don't create gaps. So when the price retraces, it doesn't have to retrace so far. But right now what the price is trying to do is trying to fill these gaps which are formed in this explosive move to the upside. And now we're going to see if there's more value entering the market than leaving the market, because that's how you get higher lows. Otherwise you don't get higher lows, you get lower lows and you get a change. But right now I'm looking for this low to hold, and I'm looking for a higher low here somehow. I don't know how, when it's going to happen. That's what I'm looking for. We're kind of above we're kind of testing this 786. We're hitting it a lot. That's not good, because usually when you hit a level a lot, you break. Okay, so unless they get some kind of reversal here and just keep on holding, we have to get back above the point of control. Then we could be in a situation where we go lower. And I did talk about that. See, the thing is, I talk about these things and yeah, I'm not 100%. I just have to see what happens. I think if what we have to, whatever happens here, we have to flip this point of control into support, which is clearly not happening at the moment. And that will be when when the market sees that the price is able to get back above the point of control and find support, then the market will start buying again. Otherwise, what you're going to see here is continued accumulation. And actually, when you're looking at this price action, the real opportunity for people who really want to go heavy is going to be a taking all of these lows, which is what I talked about. That's going to be the opportunity to come all the way down to test this value or low. It's going to feel really bearish. It's going to feel like the project died. People are going to be looking at this chart and going, what the hell? This is, now we're going to be looking to go down. That's what they're going to be thinking. And that will be the opportunity to buy. The real opportunity. That will be the opportunity to go balls deep. When the market sentiment is bearish, where the price action feels bearish, where the price is dropped above and beyond people's expectation to the downside, when you start feeling that, that's the time to buy. Really buy. And Suhit is talking about, do I have insider information? No, I don't. Honestly, I don't. I'm just looking at the technicals and going, hey, this is what needs to happen for what we want to happen, which is to go up. I would prefer a higher low here. I always do. When you get a higher low, it just gives you confidence that the market is still buying and you get more buyers and sellers. Short of a higher low here, if we do get that crazy PA that I was imagining, then we're going to have to see a high volume buy up and we're going to have to get back above the point of control. Otherwise, what you'll get is you get a lot of people who are trapped for 4 years. They'll see that we've put in a lower low and then they'll be looking to scale down their position as the price retraces. And then you need a high volume buy up to show us a bullish reversal after taking the lows. So we need certain things to happen. Otherwise, it doesn't give us the confidence we need. But usually when you get explosive moves, it is from taking a significant low. It's always from the low. Yeah. So could we get a crazy move now? Yeah. from the lows, always from the lows. You could argue that that was your first move, and now we're looking, as long as you put in a higher low, which we're not, we haven't put in a higher low. So no, right now this is all still corrective, but it's extremely volatile because of Bitcoin, because that could have been your first move, but we've actually just taken the low. So we're still corrective here, and it's going to be from a low that we get the move, we get the move that we're looking for. All right. What do? Do you buy, sell, or dump? Not financial advice, but look at this. Quantum chips. Eventually, quantum chips will break Bitcoin. And I'm not talking about the Bitcoin, or the modern Bitcoin wallets. I'm talking about the legacy wallets, the Satoshi wallet. The only wallet that matters is the Satoshi wallet. Unless the Bitcoin Foundation deprecates that wallet or takes it out of service for if that will probably require a fork in Bitcoin. That wallet is vulnerable with the dawn of the new age of quantum computing, and then that would release 1.1 billion Bitcoin onto the market. That would crash Bitcoin. And the minute that happens, then these quantum resistant chains will go from 2.4 cents to 20 cents, $2 very quickly, because you'll just get a sudden surge in volume. Okay, that's something that could happen in the future fundamentally, but actually what really needs to happen is the mainnet. Okay, and I have no idea about the mainnet. Let's ask Grok. When is QANX mainnet launch scheduled, and why is it delayed? Let's see what it says. As of October 17, 2025, QANX's mainnet has not yet been launched. The most recent official update from the project's roadmap indicates that the core QVM module 70% of development was audited, I remember that, successfully by hacking in July 25. The X-Link module audit is expected to be complete in October 25, that's this month, after which the final code batch will be submitted for review. Once the auditor provides a time frame, Quan platform will announce an estimated mainnet launch date, likely in late 25 or early 26 based on this sequence. Community discussions and recent expos suggest anticipation for an announcement this month, but no firm date has been confirmed. Why has it been delayed? Technical complexity, and those security audits, development milestones, past challenges, strategic, la-di-da. So basically, just typical tech project being delayed. But we're close, sir. We're close. We're so close that you do expect that final shakeout before we get what we're looking for, which is the pump of the ages, the mega pump. And that's probably going to happen when the mainnet launches, probably. Like I was thinking maybe the mainnet will be a sell the news event, but when the price is at the lows, it's not a sell the news event. You only get a sell the news event when the price is high, riding high. And when you're at the low, like if the mainnet was launched tomorrow or announced, then it's not a sell the news event because you're starting to rally from the lows. You don't then sell. But if we were like here, if we were kind of here underneath all-time highs, and then mainnet launched, that would be your sell the news. Why? Because you've just made a higher high in a sell the news event. Yeah. But because we're riding the lows, then anywhere where we are now, this is not a sell the news event because we're at the lows of this range since this rebate. We're basically at the lows. We're even now underneath the point of control. What the point of control means is that everyone is at the moment slightly underwater. And so we don't want to be underneath the point of control for long. Ideally, we want to be back above the point of control. But when I look at the volume profile, I can see that it's distributed here and here. So we're kind of in this kind of range. The whole thing is a range. All right. that's QANX. I don't have any other insights for you guys. I kind of, sorry. And sorry about last week, about not being able to do a video. I'm going to cut this and post it. So if you appreciate me and you want to continue to support my work, I don't get paid for this. I'm not part of the team. I just hold a little bit of QANX, and I do this for fun. Just bring a little bit of fun to QANX and Quan platform. And as with all of you, I am a firm believer that eventually one day we're going to see Bitcoin cracked, and then we can buy our Lambos. So let's just wait for that day, right? And Suhit is correct. He says, hold and forget. Sure, hold and don't watch my videos. That would probably help. Don't watch me. But then watch me. So anyway, that's QANX. I'm out here in El Salvador. I'm wearing my Dtravel hat. I'm in El Salvador, sunny El Salvador. You can see El Salvador behind me, but you can't really see it. I'm wearing my Dtravel hat. I'm wearing my Dtravel t-shirt. I represent Dtravel at the moment in Central South America. And what's going on with TRVL and Dtravel? Well, really what's going on with the whole of crypto, because I feel like we're bottoming here, and I feel like last week was quite bullish. And yet, look at where the price is. It's right at the lows of last week's range. Kind of similar to Bitcoin, kind of similar. You see last week, let me just get rid of that. You see, we filled the wick. Although in Bitcoin, we've put in a higher low at the moment. Looking at ETH, we're actually halfway down the wick. So ETH is looking the most bullish right now. And some other current tokens are looking pretty miserable because they had big sell-offs. And here, when you look at TRVL, we're right at the bottom of the previous week low. So we're getting very similar price action across the board. Can you trade this price action? It's difficult with these low volume illiquid tokens. When I look at TRVL, when I'm looking at this chart and this whole range and this whole accumulation period, from the moment I restarted my streams on July the 6th to where we are now, we've really pulled back a lot. Okay. After this initial kind of 1, 2, 3, kind of 4, 5, like a 5-wave move here, I really feel that this is a corrective moves. The caveat would be if we take out this low to put in a lower low. We don't want to see that. We can see that there's quite a large amount of volume coming in this area, don't we? And whereas before, you got these kind of crazy sell-offs, we're not getting that. We're getting sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, 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 sell, 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 buy, 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 sell, buy, 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 sell, sell, buy, buy, sell, blah, blah, blah. You get the point. So I think it's different, and it's hard not to look at your portfolio and go, shit, we're down another 5%. What shall I do? We're down 5%. We're down 10%. Da, 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 da. And then people are looking at this and they're thinking to themselves, what are they thinking? They're thinking to themselves, what happens if we do take out the lows? What happens if everyone who's been buying suddenly starts selling? Like fear starts to hit people's minds. Then we could be down another 60%. I can't afford to lose 60% of my portfolio. And really, if you're in that mind with a low liquid token like TRVL, you're doing it wrong. If you feel that you can't afford to lose, then you're actually doing it wrong. You're doing the whole thing wrong. You're approaching this whole project and token completely wrong. If you're looking at the price of TRVL now, and you're looking at your portfolio and you're panicking, you're doing it wrong, right? Not financial advice, but I can tell you, if you're looking at the price of this and you're looking at your portfolio and you're panicking, you're starting to feel nervous because you feel that this might go down further. It's a feeling, right? Fear. Then you're doing it wrong, okay? With these low volume illiquid tokens, it's about higher time frame accumulation. It's about dollar cost averaging, and it's about these dips, this area being an opportunity. Yeah. Every dip here is an opportunity to accumulate, but you have to use the correct methods and strategy, and you have to use disposable value. You can't put your life, you could, but you shouldn't put your life savings into highly volatile, illiquid tokens. That's why we accumulate, because, and we accumulate the dips. Yeah. So, and that gives us the confidence to not panic, because we see dips as an opportunity. Yeah. Right now, it feels like we're bottoming. It feels like we're trying to create a bottom, but as always, these kind of drops shake people out, you know, and people panic and they sell, and there's nothing I can do to stop that. I see this price of this token as an opportunity. I feel that this is quite bullish. I feel this is bullish because I'm looking at the higher time frame. And even though we haven't been able to hold the point of control of support, that's really what I want to see. I always say the same, don't I? I've never really changed my analysis. When I'm looking at the analysis, I always say I want to see the point of control flip into support. I always say that. And right now we're not seeing that. See, last month we were able to close lower. This month the price has gone up and then it's rejecting. So we're not able yet to turn the point of control into some kind of support zone. And the other thing is that we're putting in a lot of volume here. Look at all that volume we're putting at these lows. After the February drop, this is February. This is the February drop. The February drop was when we lost the previous all-time low. Look how much volume we've put into TRVL. Yeah, I consider, like, some tokens don't put in that volume, and the value area, the price is still, it's like there's no volume and the price is underneath the value. That would be problematic. But what I'm seeing now isn't problematic, because we're getting a lot of volume at these lows. We're getting a lot of accumulation. I think last month was bullish because we got more volume and the price closed higher. This right now for me is looking like an opportunity. Yeah, I'm starting to see an opportunity. I'm seeing a 3-monthly inverse candle, last 3-month candle. Now we're just going down for the final opportunity before the price, I feel, wants to explode to the upside. But I can't tell you what's going to happen in the future. No one really knows. We just have to wait and see, and then evaluate after it happens. And so I'm here in El Salvador. I'm kind of hosting the CEO, Eric Pace. I'm going to show you some pictures, actually. Give me a second. I have to find them on my WhatsApp, and I'm going to post them here. I could go to my Instagram. My Instagram is private, so it's privileged access only. So what I'll do is I'll bring it on WhatsApp. So Eric is out here with his family, and guess what we're talking about? Dtravel. Who would have guessed? We're talking about Dtravel. We're talking about TRVL. We're talking about the future. We're talking about the new economy that we want to build and create. And we're talking about all those things. I'm talking to him. I'm talking to his family. This is me and Eric. Yesterday, this is San Salvador. This is the volcano. It's behind us in these clouds. San Salvador wraps around this volcano there, and then going this way behind us is Santa Tecla, and then this way San Salvador wraps, and then you can't see it, but there's a lake there called Lake Ilopango. And now you can't really see it, but San Salvador is constructed of old colonial houses and nothing new. But I can imagine a future where all of this is like developed in high-rise buildings and modern luxury apartments and offices. So we are really at the beginning of something interesting here in El Salvador. I've got some other pictures, but I don't know if I can share them because there is of his family. All right, I'm going to share one. Why not? I'll do it quick. I'll quickly share it and then remove it. There you go. Just with his family there. Just kind of having a little bit of breakfast. Really nice venue. Really nice location. So we're here. He's here. We're out. We're talking about Dtravel. We're talking about TRVL. I had a meeting with the CTO, Ty, and the head of front-end product, Quinn, earlier this week. I think it was on Wednesday. It was a very informal meeting, and we're just planning and brainstorming the future. And it's quite interesting because see, now I've gone off the charts, haven't I? But if you go to my X page, and there's someone who follows me, Planet, his name's Planet. I don't know where he gets this information from. I think maybe from me, but he's so eloquent that I have to read it for you. It's quite interesting. The dawn of a new route, Dtravel tokenomics reforged. In every age, the wise have known that no empire rises by chance. It is built by the discipline to rebuild, to reform, to reimagine. The Romans reconstructed their legions after every defeat. The merchants of Venice rewrote their trade codes when the seas changed. Today, Dtravel stands at the same inflection, ready to reshape its foundation through a new tokenomic order. The words of Benjamin Graham echo across time. An investor must analyze, protect, aspire to adequacy before greatness. That is precisely what Dtravel now embodies. Under the stewardship of Eric Pace and yours truly, TRVL is not chasing fleeting hype. It is engineering longevity. The coming tokenomics upgrade is no mere adjustment. It is a recalibration of purpose. It aligns incentives, restores scarcity, and reawakens confidence across the ecosystem, like Athens reforming its democracy to empower its citizens. Dtravel's new framework redistributes value back to its travelers, hosts, and builders. In every revolution of market, structure precedes success. The Dutch East India Company redefined trade by reorganizing its assets. Dtravel now prepares to do the same for decentralized travel, anchoring TRVL not in speculation, but in sustainable demand. The optimism within the leadership is not misplaced. It is a quiet confidence of architects who know their blueprint can outlast seasons. With Pace's strategic foresight and yours truly's executional precision. I don't know about that. The Dtravel course is being redrawn, not towards reaction, but towards mastery. History will remember this phase as the moment Dtravel evolved from a movement into a mechanism where every traveler becomes a stakeholder in every journey and economy. Honestly, bravo. Like, I have to congratulate Planet for writing this. I don't know where he got it from. Probably from, I asked Eric, where did Planet get this information from? I was like wondering, is Planet Eric, but on a pseudo account or something? I don't know. But the reality is, he's on the point. He understands. Planet actually understands. He understands what we're doing. And he sums it up really nicely. History will remember this phase as the moment Dtravel evolved from a movement into a mechanism where every traveler becomes a stakeholder in every journey and economy. And that's exactly right. That's absolutely right. What we want to do is make every traveler a stakeholder in every journey and economy. A new economy, one that transcends borders, where there are no borders, and where travel is the medium of value and exchange, and where every human being on this planet can participate. It starts from the ground up. We're not talking about a top-down approach. We're talking about a ground-up approach where people can participate and enjoy travel, which every human loves, but also where they can benefit from that experience, not just the experience, but can add value. And from that, they can also be rewarded with value. Okay, that's what we're trying to achieve. We have ideas. We have some really amazing ideas. And our ideas are based on success stories. They're not based on crazy imaginations. We're based on Bitcoin, based on success stories, but we're looking to kind of take that to the new age, to the new frontier. Watch this space. Anyway, Planet, I don't know who you are. He tells me he's from Nigeria. I was asking him yesterday, where are you from, mate? And he says from Nigeria. He says the state capital, Abuja. So we have a true believer in Abuja in Nigeria. He understands what's happening, and he's advocating. He's our best advocate right now in that part of the world. So really appreciate you. Thank you, Planet. He also posts some other things in his profile, quite interesting. Anyway, I was really impressed by what he said. We kind of chuckled and giggled with Eric yesterday. And what else is happening? Well, let's have a look at the Telegram quickly. I won't go long on the stream. Oh, does that appear? So there's kind of lively conversation going on here. I'm not going to go through it. I think everyone, if they want to, can have a look. Dtravel community on Telegram. It's good, huh? It's good to have lively conversations. And I think what I want people to do, especially in this TRVL channel, is to contribute, talk, bring your ideas. There's no censorship here, right? You can come and say what you want as long as you're not promoting scams and spam and shilling some bullshit token. If it's just about Dtravel and TRVL, you can come and contribute and chat, and we will chat too. We will interact and engage. This is kind of how we're building the community. We're starting from the ground up. We want people to come and participate. We don't want people to be excluded. If you hold TRVL, then you know you're welcome to join and give your opinion. Everyone has an opinion, and everyone's opinion is welcome. And ultimately, we all want the same thing. We want Dtravel to succeed. We want TRVL to go up, and we want TRVL to go up very high. And that's what we're doing now. That's what I'm doing now. That's what I've been doing for a long period of time. I've been participating and engaging and encouraging people to participate and engage, and we can build something together. So come in to this Telegram channel. And you can also click on my links and support me too through resharing and retweeting. But hey, look at this. Jay is talking about some things. He's positive. He thinks we can get to 2 cents. We've talked about this. I hope so too, at the very least. If you go to the general channel, you can see that there's some kind of new users, new booking processed. What is this? Oh yeah, so I posted this yesterday. Sweden becomes the first country where doctors can prescribe travel for wellness. How amazing is that? So you can see there's a correlation between wellness and travel. This is something that Andrea has been talking about too. And she's in Spain, but she's traveling to Argentina. There's a conference happening in Argentina. I only really found out about it recently. Let me kind of go and have a look. Crypto conference, Argentina. I think it's in November. Let's have a look. See what DevConnect. There you go. So we are looking or exploring at making an appearance at DevConnect in Argentina. It's an ETH conference. Ethereum is ready for the real world. This is between the 17th and the 22nd of November. If Andrea goes, we're looking to kind of create some kind of incentive package where we're connecting travel with wellness. And so we are following that. We are following down that rabbit hole as Dtravel. We're kind of identifying future trends, and we believe, we agree that travel and wellness are intertwined. I might go down to join her in Argentina because I'm here in El Salvador, and it's still away. It's still quite far to get down. It's still like an 11-hour trip by flight with an interchange, but let's see how that plays out. I'll kind of give you guys a bit of an update as and when we do participate in DevConnect and what we're planning to do. But ultimately what we're trying to do on every level is expose and promote Dtravel. So we want to expose and promote Dtravel to crypto, to travelers, to hosts. That's why it's so difficult. And I don't think people realize how difficult. You can't see my screen, huh? how difficult it is. This is it. This is Dev Connect. Because we're not just trying to build one network. We're not just trying to build a real world network of properties. We're also trying to build a real world network of travelers. We also need to intertwine that with crypto, and we need them all to work together, and we need them all to grow. Okay. So our job is much harder, but the reward is going to be significantly higher when we actually eventually make this work and succeed in the future. So this is kind of what we're looking to do. And Andrea's been talking about this behind the scenes, and I'm possibly going to this in Argentina. I was in Argentina just over a week ago in Buenos Aires, and I might be going back. So that's quite interesting. Let me have a look at the Dtravel X page. I don't really have anything more to say about the charts, to be honest with you. I just waiting for Bitcoin to find support. Let's have a look here. So the last post was 2 days ago on the 15th. Call us crazy, but we think that crypto travelers deserve a yearly retreat where we all get reunited on a remote island after intense months of building. We bring peer-to-peer bookings and the experience, Travala flights and discounts, and base the infra to build it. Who's done? Okay, that sounds like Andrea. This is all Andrea, obviously. Search for a destination, book a flight, book P2P with TRVL and get discounts, enjoy and repeat. Well done. So I do have something else to talk about. I'm not going to go into much depth because I was thinking about creating a video, but I haven't had the time and I'm not going to do it right now, but it's on my phone right now. I'm looking at my phone. And what you have is the base mini app, right? So rather than I could probably create a screen grab, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to line it up to the camera. And basically, I'm on the beta. I was invited to the beta by Eric this morning, and he showed me last night that the Dtravel app is on the base app on the beta. You can kind of see the icon there. I've just typed in, I haven't typed it in, but that's recent. You see that recent? Can you see the Dtravel icon? Okay. So I'm going to click on it, and it's called the Dtravel mini app. It's within the base wallet. So I had to upgrade the wallet, but there was a seamless upgrade. And within that, you can click on Dtravel. It's like an application within base. And from there, you get to do what we can do on our website, which is search for and book vacation rentals on the Dtravel network. And it's seamless because you can pay using TRVL or ETH on the base layer 2. All right. So I'm just going to kind of just type in El Salvador here. You can't see me type it in, but you see I just typed it in there. I'm not going to do it in reverse because I will fail. I'll put in a couple of nights. You see that? Let's say 2 adults. Apply. Search. See that? So that's within the base wallet, which has been upgraded. And there's a mini app in there. And that allows you to access the Traveler app. And then from there, you can view properties on the Dtravel network. And you can click on them. In fact, I can't do it in reverse. Oh, there, I did it. And you see that? And here, oops, I lost it. Why did I lose it? Let me just type it back in. I don't know why I lost it. Yeah, see that you can click on that. And here you can view the property as you would on the website. So you have the web app, which is from the website. You have this base app now, which is within base. You can reserve Let me try and reserve it. See that? Confirm and pay. So it'll be crypto. It'll be on the base mainnet. Can you see that? Oh my God, it's not straight. And I have no balance. I have no TRVL. So he only accepts TRVL. That's really annoying. When I click on X, it disappears. I have to figure that out. There should be a back button, and there obviously isn't. So there's obviously some kind of teething things, but I'm going to use this and try and give my feedback, which is what I do. Let me just try it again. You can't see, but I'm just trying again. Maybe I should go in the full screen. Maybe that'll be easier. Oh, that might be better. You might be able to see that. So you see that? You see that? So that's on the base app. Base mainnet. What does that say? Payment, no crypto. Crypto. I should try it out. I should try it out. I'm not sure how. Total $50. It's quite exciting, huh? So when you go to the, this is kind of the base wallet. I only have $84 there, but you see when you do that, you can see the recent. I've got the Dtravel app within the base wallet. See that? That's the Dtravel mini app, and you see that you can search. So this is newer. This is all new. And you can search for a destination. Let's try one of my properties in London. I never do my own properties because I'm always afraid it won't show up because it's booked, but let me just try it anyway. This is London. There you go. There's my flat there. So that's, see that, that's within the app. This is in beta at the moment, so it's not live. I think there's like 1 million users on the base app. So let me just have a look how we can pay here, so yeah, you see that it says crypto, no fees, but it says TRVL. I should be able to accept USDT, etc., and it doesn't give me that option. It only gives me TRVL, so I'm not quite sure why. I probably have to give feedback. I'll take a screenshot now and I'll give them a little bit of a feedback. But anyway, that's quite fun, huh? And you can minimize it there, and it kind of goes down into the bottom of the screen. You can pull it back up. I'm not sure how to go. Oh yeah, you can go back. You see it says you can go back for the listing page there. I don't know how to go back to the search. But that's a new development. This is in beta, and it's looking good, huh? It's looking really good. It's going to kind of give access to people who use the base wallet to book travel peer-to-peer across the world on our network. Yeah. And our network does work. I've got the proof of concept. I've shown everyone the proof of concept. And this is a real exciting development. This development has got nothing to do with what we're planning, which is the tokenomics, which is everything else to do with the economy that we want to build. What you're experiencing now with Dtravel is a rebirth. We have a new leadership. We have a new CEO. I'm back in the project, and we're imagining everything to be different. New tokenomics, new leadership, new governance, new ideas. And what we want to do is to create a movement that benefits and supports and benefits travels, and everyone who participates into this new movement, this new economy, will grow and benefit. Yeah. So I've split it in my mind. I've imagined 4 ideas: hosts, or people who own places or manage or own places. Hosts, operators, they're in one category. Investors, people who invest with TRVL, that's the medium for investment. Travelers, people who travel, and communities. And the communities are the ones who support and grow the Dtravel network, and they kind of encompass everything. And so you can be a traveler and part of the community. You can be a host and part of the community. You can be an investor and part of the community. You can be a traveler, a host, an investor, and part of the community. You can tick all 4 boxes. Yeah. And every single aspect of what we're trying to build are people who bring positive energy to our network, and then they're going to be rewarded with TRVL. But they don't have to then sell it and convert it to cash and go away. What they'll be able to do is bring it back into the economy. It's going to be a token-based economy, which is going to bring the energy back in and grow. Kind of like that. I can't really describe it. I can imagine it, but what we're going to do is we're going to build that. And it's going to be really soon. Yeah, it's not going to be far into the future, 6 months, 10 months, whatever. And at the very least, what we're going to do is start announcing roadmaps, big announcements. We're going to start mapping out the plan for the future. And I think a lot of people are going to get excited about what we're about to build. And so all of this is based on the network that we have already built. And so I keep on going back to this June.com analytics. That's the link. And this is what we've built. To date, this is what we've built. We've built a real world network with 5,756 listings, with a cumulative network value, gross value of 1.4 million. You can see that. Average booking value of $828, 10,838 operator sign up. So this is what we've grown so far and built. This is the real world network. It's a proof of concept. And what we're going to do now is use this as a foundation to launch the next iteration of Dtravel, and that will be a rebirth. Right? That's Dtravel, that's TRVL. When it comes to the token, I mean, I still think this is like an opportunity of a lifetime. Not financial advice. It's hard to kind of tell people to buy because I don't want people to feel like I'm shilling or selling or scamming them. Yeah. I think you should always do your own research. The problem is right now the research is limited because the website is slightly out of date. But if you like some ideas that I've been talking about, if you are following me and if you're following some of the recent conversations on Telegram, and primarily the main thing on Telegram that should kind of capture your attention is what Eric said a few days ago. Let me kind of bring it, let me find it. Where is it? Look, I agree. That's why major changes are underway. And that's really, if you want to ignore everything I've said and just hone into one thing, one sentence, major changes are underway. And that's kind of what I've been talking about, the major changes. People who watch my streams are effectively, they're Dtravel true believers, effectively. And so I'm not I'm just trying to give people our own supporters a heads up of what's coming. And so you don't find yourself out of position, but you still have to be smart with the way you accumulate TRVL, dollar cost average, over a long period of time, and only use value that you can afford to lose. That's just a general rule across crypto, disposable value. None of it is financial advice. And then what you really want to do is you really want to do your own research with these projects, especially these real world projects. And then you also want to get involved. And it's really important. So that's kind of what we want to create, an economy where people are involved. Investors are involved, travelers are involved, hosts are involved, and communities are involved. And so when they do buy or accumulate or earn or are rewarded with TRVL, they don't feel like, okay, now I've got something, I don't know what to do with it, I have no idea what this is. Now they can have ownership and be part of what we're building and what we're creating, this decentralized network, rewarding travelers, traveling, all this positive energy. And it's directly connected to wellness, and that's kind of like the trend that we're following, the connection between travel and wellness. And there's wellness in traveling, there's also wellness in entrepreneurship and hosting and making money and hosting people and giving people good experiences and investing and getting a reward on your investment. There's so much wellness involved in what we're about to create or what we're creating. And the first iteration, the hardest part was this. I just want people to realize that this was the hardest part. Getting to this point in time was actually the most difficult part. The next part is relatively easy, but we just need to now push ahead. Okay, so it's about to happen. It's called the Dtravel Rebirth. All right, I streamed long enough. If you like my stream, please like it and share it, etc. And I really appreciate you. Come back next Friday for the next update. Hopefully I'll have good internet as well. And so my internet's been pretty good this week. And so maybe I'm going to Austin. I'm not 100% yet, but maybe after Eric leaves next week, I'm going to go and visit him and his family in Austin. And maybe we're going to go to California, maybe. Lots of maybes. And so this is still on the quest of reinventing or rebirthing Dtravel. And honestly, I've got ideas, but it's a team effort. It's a collaboration of minds, and no one is wrong. It's just all about bringing all the ideas to the table and making something great for everyone to benefit. All right. Hope you have a wonderful Friday and weekend, and I'll catch you on Telegram and on X. Bye.